This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode number 592 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by ECOGOLD. Visit them at ecogold.ca. Well, hello, everybody. Glenn the Geek back with you. I'm here with Coach Jenn for the final in our Rapid Random Tips series. And yes, this will be the last day I'm hosting, and then she's going to kick me back out of the studio again, back to doing Horses in the Morning and Stable Scoop, and get the heck off of Horse Tip Daily.
Get out of here.
That's right. I knew that was going to be the case. We're going to do this rapidly, like we promised. So here is our word from ECOGOLD, and then the last of our Rapid Random Tips. You know, regular listeners to Horse Tip Daily know that we love the products at ECOGOLD. Well, there's others that love the products at ECOGOLD, too, that are a little better riders than I am. And one of those is Kyle Carter, the international eventer and well-known in the eventing community, and just a fun, lovely guy, a good family man, too. And here's what Kyle has to say.
Well, I came across the saddle pad the first time when I was over at Burley, and one of the Canadian riders was riding in the saddle pad, and I got to try it in a schooling session. I loved it, and I actually stole the saddle pad from her and used it on cross country at Burley. It is bar none the best saddle pad out there. We get given saddle pads all the time because people want you to ride with their logo on your horse, and I've reduced every saddle pad in my string to ECOGOLD for the major competition.
Thank you, Kyle. You can find those saddle pads at ecogold.ca. That's ecogold.ca. Well, Jennifer, what is our last of our rapid random tips for today?
Today's rapid random tip is the most random of the lot. These are tricks for tying horses who aren't really good at being tied.
Okay.
Specifically, when you are at a remote location where you would typically tie them to a horse trailer.
So balls and chains aren't included in this list?
Balls and chains are not on the recommended list.
All right, just checking.
There are lots of horses out there who don't like to tie for various and sundry reasons. So this is not a training tip. This is a handy gadgets and methods tip.
Okay.
If you have a horse that doesn't like to stand tied, we have two trains of thought. One side of the aisle says tie the horse to something that will not break. He's going to yank and tug and struggle until he figures out that he can't go anywhere, and then he'll be fine. And the other side of the aisle is tie the horse to something that will break and break reasonably easily so that he does not endanger himself getting hurt, hurting their neck, getting loose, etc. So we have those two sides of the aisle. We're not addressing the side of the aisle you're on. These are just things that I've tried in the past that have been useful for horses that don't tie well. Instead of tying the animal directly to a horse trailer, tree, or fence post, bicycle inner tube is a very handy device. Put it around whatever stationary object you need to tie them to, and then put their lead rope on the inner tube.
You see a lot of that in old farms. Seem to have bicycle inner tubes around.
Yes. I recommend bicycle inner tube because it's just easier to handle than a automobile inner tube, and a lot of cars don't have inner tubes anymore. They're inexpensive. You just go to the bicycle department of at your local superstore, or steal them out of your children's bicycles, either or. It gives, but it doesn't snap back particularly well.
Right. Okay,
which brings me to my second point. I would not recommend the bungee cord style tying devices that are available at tack shops everywhere. It's a snap on each end usually, and it's made of bungee cord material that's big and heavy. The problem is, at some point, that thing is going to break, and you never know when that is going to be. When that happens, one or both of those snaps will become missiles.
I know. There's a lot of horse people that use those, and we just never did. We were not believers in those.
I understand why people use them because they do give, but there is a significant hazard involved. So personally, wouldn't recommend them. Bicycle tire is really ugly. But if you have a problem with that, we're going to go with Michelle Bergeron's recommendation. Put your bicycle tire inside of a girth cover.
Oh, yeah, so make it look better.
It'll just look less disgusting. Yeah. Or if you're really clever and you're the crafty type, you can make yourself a little tube for it of some cute material that matches your barn colors. It's much safer because when it does snap, it's not going to have the same ricochet effect as a bungee cord would. There is one tying device, and unfortunately I didn't write down the name of it, available on the market that is made out of a genuine bungee material in that it stretches out, but it does not snap back. When it returns to its regular length, it does so very slowly. And it's a manufacturer. That's all they make is that one product, and they're rather hard to find. So if you want something that stretches, that is commercially available, they're about $24. Go surfing around, and you'll find that one. And then also another really old method of teaching horses to tie and reducing the panic response is a burlap sack or a piece of burlap in a rectangle shape. You put it over the horse's neck behind his pole, and you have it folded so it's about 4 or 5 inches in width. You fold it over and you bring it down to his throat latch and you tie it closed. So you've basically made a burlap collar for your horse, and then you attach the lead rope through it, run the lead rope through his halter, and then tie the horse so that when he pulls back, many horses, it reduces the panic reflex when they feel the tension versus up on the top of their pole. So those are 3 things that I have used with some amount of success with various and sundry horses who have issues with being tied.
Very good. Well, thank you, Jennifer. And we're going to have on Equestrian Collections next week. Their product of the week is also something that's right along those lines of tying your horses safely. So stay tuned for that, for the Equestrian Collections product of the week coming up to help you with your tying issues. That's it for me, Jennifer. I'm out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. It was good to be over here at Horse Tip Daily for a couple of days. I'm going to be heading on out, and Jennifer's going to be taking over again. But it was good to be here. Thank you so much, and don't forget to join us on Horses in the Morning or any of our other 9 shows at horseradionetwork.com. Until next time, have a great ride, everybody, and be safe.
The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.